Okay, let's look at now the how to make this master backlog also visible in not link the master backlog to your own project level. So each team has a own repository and all tasks and task items and backlog items are stored in your team level. So there is no such a situation that we are using some one backlog for every team. You understand that each team are doing things in their own, but we have still the backlog level for the product owner who is guiding whole process. So our product backlog for the whole project over all teams will be found from the some location. In this case, I'm talking about Future Factory, but it's possible that in WIMMA Capstone cases or whatever in future we have still this kind of high level backlog. So I open up this backlog in this environment what we are now observing. So there can be a lot of issues, and there is what is now used is that I will create always own board for each sprint. And in this case, the sprint 0 is what we are now observing first. So there is plenty of issues on the board, and some of those are just waiting for the day, and it's possible that it's looking like this anyway, that all the tickets are visible on board, but nothing has been done or no moving ahead. So we are just showing what are the backlog items in a higher level in open state, and then the team will be moving the tickets in their own team level. So if I now look at the team demo, it's demo 00 team, and we look at the issue board there. So our backlog is not having any kind of sprint 0. So let's define first sprint 0. So we have to make this own uh, own board, and we cannot show now the tickets which are assigned for the sprint 0. We have to make first the milestoning. So let's make a milestoning, and I now I will make a sprint 0 milestone. So it will start in our case it will start in Monday, and the last day of the sprint will be the Friday in our case 2025. But it's sprint 0, so it's a little bit different than 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are 2 weeks length. So we create a milestone. And whenever we have this milestone defined, let's make another, just make sure that you understand that sometimes it's needed to create those milestones first. So sprint 01 should be starting 20 of January, and the last day of will be 31 of January. So this is sprint 01 already been used under the group or project milestone. Is there actually one milestone called same? Yes, there is actually one. So I just define that and put the timestamp right. So this is the correct timing. Then we check out there is a sprint 2 also as default. So I just make sure that you get the point again that what was the target. So it will start from the February 3rd, and the last day is 2 weeks after that. It will be the Friday 14th, and it's just sprint 2. And when we look at now our milestones, you can see that there is a sprint 0. Let's add one 0 more, so it's looking nicer. It's my own. Oh, there is again another sprint. Yes, I can delete extra. As you see, I can change a lot of things before I have to make some things prearranged first. So this is the way I have to do. Sometimes I have to take away some predefinitions. There is risk list and there is backlog. We leave those. Okay, but Sprint Zero is now existing and now we can see the days. And these days has to be in same like our master backlog. So let's look at the master backlog's milestone settings. So here we can see this is for Future Factory 2025 and this can be something else when we are talking about your project, but in this case the time schedule should be in order. So we are hanging here in sprint 0 and sprint 1, sprint 2, 3, 4, etc. There is some sprint 8 also. Some cases it's possible to have those, but they are there. But anyway, we have to make sure that the timing is same in the master backlog and also our own milestoning. So if they are in order, they should be fine. So let's look at next sprint 1. This is 20th of January 23, 41, 31. So it's in order. So let's define that now. Let's have an idea that now we have in order only 3 sprints defined. But next thing is that we are building the issue board. So we are making sprint 0 and now we are configuring that little bit and we are selecting that we are showing just milestone sprint 0, 0. So now the board is closed, open. There is no any issues on the board. Next thing here is that we need to define next step. So there is this kind of flow. We are using the flow idea that we are waiting for estimation. We add this kind of set step. Then we add a list that we are waiting ready for reviewed in progress. So in progress, so it's under work. And then we add flow called ready for testing. And then we add still a lot of these reviewed, waiting for a review and closed. So whenever we get a ticket, this is the flow. So now there is no any tickets select for sprint 0. So let's define first one. So issue, new issue. And we are defining something what we are checking from the project main backlog. So we look at now inside the tickets and there is one case which is higher priority, select administrator for the team. So let's do it. So I have to copy this topic in my specific environment. So this is taking time, but this is learning effort. So I'm hoping that you understand that you really have to edit this manually at first. And here we collect some information and I put that information there. And then I see that this is general task. So I can also set the state of the task. So it's a general task here. So now I have done definition of first ticket in my case. I have been copying this ticket from the original backlog to our own specific environment. And as you see, it's issue 18. And when I'm looking at the product manager's backlog, it's 12 there. But anyway, now the ticket is defined and we can see that it's task general and we can move it also in a backlog or we can put it directly in sprint 0. So now I have done this ticketing and if I look at my board now, I should be able to select sprint 0 and there we can see first ticket in the list. And whenever you get the idea a little bit better understandable way, So it's quite fast to do this kind of ticketing, and I hope that you are spreading this task to several team members. So if you are moving some tickets in the form of your own product backlog, you should be copying those with the multiple persons. So if first one is taking first 3 tickets and second is next 4, and you as a team leader take 3 or 5, it depends on your tasking, but don't take extra tickets until you have a understanding that what are the actually the tickets which are needed, because there is so huge amount in some cases some tickets already, so don't spend time with those. You just look at the issue board for the selected sprint what we are next planning. So let's take another ticket, selecting team leader. So I open up the text and I copy this. This is a little bit nasty way, but it's the only way that you learn to write some tickets. So let's make a topic, not topic, but description, and then I look at the topic and I add the topic here. So next thing is that, okay, this is general task. So again, I set this task as a general, and then I also would like to say that this is in milestone sprint 0. So if I now create a ticket, we can look at now the issue board first time with the different tasks there. So now we have a selecting team leader and select administrator for the team. So now the tickets are moved or copied from the master backlog. And this is the way what we have to do, because this is still taking time. And in some cases you cannot open the text. I assume that you cannot go inside, but in that case you have to copy the text from here and make, for example, I make a new issue without any link the the sprint, so I just define this text here. So it can be also copied by this way. And you see that there is sometimes old links and it's needed to be updated, and that's why the backlog is updated weekly, because there is so huge amount of work to do. In some cases it's unbelievable to make them before the day is the day. But I'm showing now the just an issue, and again this is general tasks, but we don't use a template because here we can use the copy and it's already ready, but we have still make this kind of linking by yourself that you makes possible. In this case, this is for backlog. This item, this ticket is backlog. We don't know whenever this is going to happen, but I just define that and I put it waiting in the backlog. So as you understand, some of the tickets are not done during sprint 0. They can be done during sprint 3 or 4 or 7. We don't know yet. Only thing which matters is that today, when we are looking at first time in a sprint 0, and this will be updated before planning day. There can be a lot of extra tickets which you have to do, and that's why that's important to make sure that you just look at the tickets, so there is not so extra. But whenever you are starting up to work more efficiently, you will add more tickets by yourself if you feel so, and then you assign the sum of these tickets to your team members. But this is the story what I would like to raise up first, that we have a product backlog or product owner's backlog somewhere, and it's giving you the guidelines for the major tickets. But in team level, you have a own board which you are handling by yourself as a team. But there is some tickets which should be found from the master backlog also in the team level. So that's my story, and let's talk about that later more. Bye.